something that people do also need to keep in mind is that like there's a reason that that all the PvPers are advocating for like a rune arc shop. Ultimately, what we want to have a balanced, convenient video game, and I really hope that that FromSoft takes the recommendations of the PvP community seriously, and that these limited access consumables, for example, are put into a shop that we can buy. There's just absolutely no reason at this point in the game to have those things gated behind new game plus cycles. It's just
Absolutely.
it's there are people in my community who are like dads with young kids who love this game. They want to jump in, they want to have a couple duels, and they want to call it a day. It's just punishing that person to not have that kind of thing in the game. I really, really, really hope that FromSoft takes the community seriously on this one. And I really think that they can. The fact that they put Wex Dust into the base game is wild.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
I absolutely love these developers ever since patch 1.06. Like I am so happy with the progression of Elden Ring. It never was like that. They legitimately address the issues slowly but surely. Adir brought interesting point. He basically says that the game's supposed to become live service type of game for the sake of so there would be incentive to work on the PvP side of the game. It's not going to happen because of the few things. Most likely, at least. Even though I personally wouldn't mind. A lot of people are very upset when they only hear about the idea of like a live service. I don't see problem with that personally. But they don't have structures for shit. They would have to create the structures. Yeah, like in live service game, you cannot have like a situation where you can just like do everything with the cheat engine like we have currently. Yeah, in the live service game, you need to have first of all like a certain audience, yeah, to make these things work, because gamers overall are kind of divided, and the audience of Souls games and Elden Ring, if you are going to look around the forums, one of the points why they appreciate Elden Ring is because it is not live service game. And very often people that dislike live service type of games are very anti them. Like there is like not really a middle ground or not much of it. It's just like, these type of games are considered as kind of like, ones that exploiting the customer. And to be honest, absolutely understandable, because very often they do look at the fucking gacha games. Gacha games have their entire structures created around selling your shit. The structure is not created around making the product that is good enough for the sake of so you would enjoy it and you would stay with it. They are focused around investing you into certain game mechanics that involve spending money from the very beginning to the very end. And like even gacha games may be fucking amazing. Like for example, Genshin Impact is one of my favorite RPGs, and when it comes to combat, it is literally my favorite RPG available on the market. That being said, I absolutely hate the gacha aspect of Genshin.
I think that there are ways of doing live service games that are good when live service is not connected to in-game like benefit, like things that actually give you in-game like strength, right? Pay to win. I think like a good examples of this are actually like Fortnite and League of Legends are good examples. These are live service platforms. Again, I have problems with both of those games separately from this discussion, but there aren't pay to win options in those games.
That is true. Like the stuff like even you could say like a Counter-Strike is also fine, although because of the idea of the open market. Like you have in Counter-Strike, you have like the the case
Skin
opening
markets.
and so on. But when you get in the skin, you have a real value. Like it is not wasted money. And it's very, very interesting, yeah, because in vast majority of the games you are not really benefiting at all from spending money. In Counter-Strike, there are people that literally made their fucking careers focused around skins and
Right.
like CS:GO oriented market, which is insane.
I believe that Elden Ring and FromSoft games are headed in a live service direction. It might not be like a traditional live service game in the way that we think about it, but even if you just think about the way that that they've been handling updates throughout the life cycle of this game. And if you also look into the fact that Tencent is now a has a significantly higher amount of investment in both FromSoft and their parent companies. And one of the things that Tencent does when they buy, options in companies is they teach them how to do live service. Like that's why Fortnite became what it was. Is that it was a failing game. Like people don't even remember that it used to be that game where it was like wave defense.
Wave
Do you remember
defense?
that?
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
first iteration of Fortnite was a wave defense game
Ah,
where
right. It was
where
called
you
Save the World. Right.
Yes, yeah, remember that? See, people barely even remember that shit, and they were failing. It was a failed game, and they said they sold 10% of it to Tencent, and Tencent said, "Okay, we're gonna do this live service shit, and let's go." And then boom, there's a whole wide discussion about Tencent as a company, monetization strategies, the ethics of that stuff. That's a whole thing.
But
But I
ultimately,
like
it is
my
possible.
yeah. So I mean, my prediction is that that is the future of FromSoft games, because I think this is them experimenting with having a sort of live service team that's continuing to do more dedicated updates. I can't see them and it's been successful, right? Like every time they release a patch that is listening to the community, it boosts sales, it boosts playing, it keeps the game relevant. Like if you look at platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and you look at the numbers, like there have been, the game has continued to sell, based on these patches and stuff.
So the thing is, Elden Ring was at some point of the peaks of 26k in the normal week and like a 35k on the weekends. That number basically doubled. On the weekend is around 80k, and this is stable. And that only happened after the Colosseum update and the sale at the Christmas. Yeah, you can they already kind of revived game on the PC. Interesting thing, yeah, but like at the same time, the same story was happening to Dark Souls 3, even when there was like a no patch support anymore, just because of the sales. So we are going to have to see like how the future of Elden Ring actually going to look like and what exactly is affecting it. I want to believe that like patching the games is bringing people back. It definitely sparked the joy in me a lot ever since patch 1.06 when they implemented the global invasions. I have like so much fun, and before that I was absolute doomer when it comes to Elden Ring. I was just like floating on like from the patch to patch, just like being like, okay, it's another shit patch, like nothing changes. Please just end my suffering and fucking like close the PvP completely. Basically that was my mindset, and yeah, it changed a lot with the patches. I am very happy with Elden Ring right now, even though it could be way better game, but it already is infinitely better game than it was on the release.